Spencer.
Welcome.
Hi, so good to
again.
see you. Yes, so sorry.
So we started off pretty much asking everyone, like, what are you grateful for just in general and this year in particular? Because, it's been a lot of information, as I like to say, this year. However, there's actually been a lot of good information as well. There's been a lot of good things that have happened for people individually, for your families and friends and things like that. So just asking you for now, like, what are you grateful for, Spencer?
Yeah, it's a great question. What am I grateful for 2020? It has been a very challenging year, but I am grateful for the way the Lord has shaped me and grown me in this year. I'd say I've learned a lot about faith in particular. I was holding on to the illusion that I had control over my future in 2020. If I ever had that illusion, it has been turned to dust. And that's a good thing. It's not like an enjoyable process to realize how out of control I am and little say I have over my future, despite all my planning. But it's a good thing to come to a place that I'm truly in the Lord for my daily bread.
Yeah, for sure.
So I am thankful for that journey. I would not wish it on my worst enemy, but I am thankful for this journey.
Yes, I have things I can relate that to.
Yes.
And definitely understand that. Not this year, but other years.
Oh, I wish the Lord could like really work on my heart and change me through like prospering and happiness.
Yes,
and like,
something pleasant.
Yes. What is this? Why, Lord? Why? I get it. It works really well, suffering, but yes.
In terms of kind of keeping with the whole grateful theme, there's also like, if there are any highlights for you this year in particular.
Yeah, that was it. Because we know that, a lot of people have had many things that did not go as they hoped, or maybe, went very badly. We thought, it all depends. I mean, if there is nothing, then we will just have some more gratitude.
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe
I would say
some good that came out of something that seemed, not so good.
Totally. I'd say that something that didn't seem so good is leaving Los Angeles. I never planned to leave Los Angeles. I'd been there for 5 years, on the West Coast for 8. And of all the places in the world that I thought I might move to next, Florida was very low on the list. But I am thankful. This has been a highlight, actually, moving here. I'm across the street from my sister, who I'm really close friends with, probably one of my best friends in the world. And she has 5 kids. And so I get to spend time with them and be a good uncle and a good brother. And there's a great church here, and it's very vibrant. And I spent Christmas with some new church friends and spending New Year's Day with some church friends. So I'm very thankful to be in Florida in this new, unexpected, and very different home. It's not LA, but it has most things that I actually need.
Wow,
I'm really thankful that you're there too. That sounds like, because all of a sudden I just imagined that I was one of your nieces. I'm like, oh my gosh, Uncle Spencer is here. So I just imagined how excited they must be to have you there.
I love those kiddos so much. I have 3 other nephews in Pennsylvania, and they come up and visit sometimes, or come down to visit. And but yeah, I just love being uncle to those kids, and they're so sweet.
Wow,
so that's a big highlight.
Yeah.
I did not realize that you had, I don't want to keep saying it, but that you had left LA. I thought you were just kind of there. Okay. I see it.
I have left. I'm a Florida resident, and I don't see myself returning to LA. Now that I've been gone even just these 3-4 months, I assumed that I had to be in LA because Hollywood is very much a zip code industry, but I'm not going to live in that belief anymore. And wherever I am, whether it's overseas or in Florida, I don't think I need to live in LA, and I don't think I want to anymore.
Wow.
And Tyler Perry's done quite well not living in LA, so.
Yeah, he has. And there's so many people leaving LA for good, many, many reasons. That would be a whole podcast.
Yes, we should sometime.
And I think it's a really good thing actually for art and for movies and for decentralizing Hollywood. There's a lot of voices that aren't represented in Hollywood and that can't live in a zip code. And so I think this will be great for the future, the industry, especially for art being actual art, not just safe bets on regurgitated pre-existing intellectual property that Hollywood's been doing the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because art
I look
and
forward
art
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because art and artists exist everywhere in the world. So it's like, there is opportunities that can come to you, as well, as opposed to, one going to the you know what I mean? Because Los Angeles, it has a reputation for, being the place, for dreams or whatever, but it's like, God is the place of like, he's the essential dream maker. So, and he knows your zip code.
Yeah, he does. Wherever
Come
that
on.
is. Come on now.
And that's the thing too, is when you have a vision from God, the vision goes where you go. You don't, it's with you, and it can be either recreated or elaborated on in ways that you hadn't thought of yet, or that you didn't even know was an opportunity or was a way to do that. And sometimes I think just by being in situations, and believe me, I can apply everything you're saying to London. But anyways, but just slightly different, because I don't have considered myself fully moved here, but in Berlin. But just to say that, just we were talking about it on the other episode, just about how there can be things that come up that would never have come up if this unfortunate way of things being of things happening hadn't happened. And then there's things that come up, there's doors that open that if you'd been somewhere else, those doors may not have opened because you ended up connecting to something in a different way, or but I can definitely see this has been a very challenging, hard time, and it was a huge thing. So but we just want to encourage you that, hey, what you're doing doesn't stop. You know what I mean? It's like this continues now. It's just in a
totally. Thank you. I appreciate your encouragement. I'm hopeful for 21. I don't know what it holds. I don't know if it'll be much different, in 24 hours whenever, our made up time changes from 20 to 21, but I'm hopeful for it. I'm excited for what it holds. I feel like I'm out of the valley and gonna, get on the horse again and see what comes our way.
Interesting as we speak of vision and everything, because one of the things that we introduced for the first time is very exciting. So get ready, put on your seatbelt. Is it on? Is it buckled?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we introduced this idea called future parties. Actually, Mo is really good at explaining it. She's so eloquent. So we're going to let her explain it so that,
So this is a little shout out to our friend Neil Fega, who told me about this idea. And so we just decided to incorporate it into our interviews from now on. And we did it with the group, and it was fun. So future party, now we're doing a virtual version, right? But the idea with a future party is that you envision yourself, say 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We went with 5 years just because it was a little bit easier to work with, maybe. And then people, if this is a real party, like in person, then people would come as that person. But it doesn't have so much to do with how you're dressed necessarily, or your outward look, more than how you speak and what you're telling us is happening in your life 5 years from now, that your ideal vision would be for what you'd be telling us if we were sitting here 5 years from now.
Basically, yeah. So you're here. It's so good to see you again. I'm looking forward to hearing all about what's been going on with you. And like, because I know you have so many films in production at the moment. So you just have to like let me know exactly what's going on. We're just here. This is a safe space. Mo's here. We're having a good time. It's so good to see you.
We're in London.
We're in London.
Yeah. So it's nice that you've been able to fly over just for the moment for this.
Yeah. I just got a text from Steven Spielberg. He's going to be here because he's like, oh my gosh, I have to talk to Spencer. I'm like, yeah, he's going to be here. So he's running a little late. So he's looking forward to coming so that like we can all sit down and chat and like have a good old time.
Mm-hmm.
So there
I
was
love
my...
it.
there was
Or Peter Jackson is actually
I was
here.
trying to
Heck yeah.
That's what
Have I
wanted
told
to
you
say.
when I met Peter Jackson?
He remembers you. He said he remembers you.
Yeah, darn right he does.
I wanted to say
I'll bet he does. He liked you. He said he wished he'd had more time to talk to you longer. He's going to tell you all about his he's going to tell you all about his thoughts. He's been telling us some thoughts he has about working with you. So
yeah, because he never forgot you. He never forgot you.
Yeah, the restraining order has expired.
Okay, so maybe that was basically sort of like an example, like, and again, at your comfort level, and or say like, it's good to see you, it's 5 years, happy new year, like tell us what's going on
and speak from that time,
speak from that place.
Yeah,
It's a great exercise. I feel like I'm in therapy. It's great.
You
it's
are.
Good.
This is what it's all
I
about.
am in therapy. This is all therapy. All of life is therapy. Art therapy. Whew. All right. I'm 36, 5 years from now. All right. So living in Paris, inviting you all to the Eiffel Tower for New Year's Eve, because that will be epic. Introducing you to my wife and kids, and have a little great home church in Paris, the start of the Reformation that never happened in France, and working on international film productions in collaboration with Hollywood and New York, and telling stories that liberate. Already told Bonhoeffer, that's out of the way, and now we're looking at a series of films on historic figures in Christendom.
Who are some of those historic figures?
So many. Bonhoeffer has definitely been my priority, but I would love to do something on Calvin and his story, especially him escaping France and going to Geneva. He's had a big influence on me. I'd love to do something on Spurgeon. He's my most quoted theologian, the Prince of Preachers, the first ever mega church in London. And some of those characters, John G. Patton, who was the martyr to the cannibals in the New Hebrides, is a really interesting story. There's so many good stories. So many.
Do you know about
stories.
George Mueller?
Yeah, Mueller would be great. Heck yeah.
His faith was.
Yeah.
Have you read? He has the autobiography of George Mueller. It's just extraordinary.
No.
How he started these orphanages in England, and completely by faith. He just had this vision. This is what he's supposed to do. And there's just story after story after story of how they would be like, they would need, first they would need enough space for the orphan. Then they needed food. And every time God sent some miraculous, but his faith was so strong. Yeah. He just was like, well, we need it by tomorrow morning. So I know that God's going to. Yeah.
Didn't even waver.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a done deal. Yeah. God's coming through for this. Okay. So then it's just like, almost mind-boggling, like his level of faith.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dang, I need to read that. That sounds like
it's a real small book. But yeah, it's
and I'm believing that there's people doing amazing things like that in our world right now.
Absolutely.
For sure. but I just want to know about it, and then I want to like showcase it to inspire others to do both things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why it's so important to learn
much.
people's. What about you, Spencer? Like, what is your overall hope, vision for 2021?
Yeah. So 21, I am actively planning my New Year's resolutions. I'm a big kind of goal setter, resolution maker. And yet, all the resolutions that I made for 2020, as I look at them, are impossible. So many of them. And I'm also just trying to make more kind of qualitative than quantitative goals for 21. You know, like becoming a better person, becoming a better man, becoming a better, like more obedient, have more faith, more discipline. And so I want to be a better person when we're having this conversation at the eve of 22. And that I'm really trying to figure out ways that I can set myself up for success, and with prayer and fasting and steadfastness to be, you know, more in Christ's image in a year. How is that? How can I do that? Because this year has been such a growing year for me in my faith and spirituality and character. And if next year is easier, I don't want to stop growing. I want to be intentional about that. So I'm trying to figure out what are healthier goals to set. And then also, you know, creative, expressive, artistic goals. Something I'm going to be doing is releasing a video a week in short form, maybe like 3 or 5 minutes, potentially connecting with a verse or a quote, or maybe a short story, or maybe a scene from a film I haven't made. And so every Friday I'm going to release 52 videos in 21. And
Awesome.
Yep. And I've never done
Can't
short
wait.
form. Thank you. I've never really done short form. I never put a lot of stock into it, but it's really tough to make a feture, and you only get to make one every like 2 years or 3 years. And I have so many different stories bouncing around in my head. So I'm gonna just create and shoot most of it with my iPhone. And I have my teaser trailer already cut. I'm gonna upload that tomorrow. Yeah.
Love it.
And we'll see what happens.
Can't wait.
I'm really looking forward to
it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Keep my craft, you know, disciplined. You don't get to direct that much. You don't get to create that much if you're only doing a feature film for a couple weeks every other year. And so I just want to stay consistent at it and see what comes out of it.
See, this is the thing though, what's so amazing is that because certain things haven't necessarily gone exactly as one, but it's birthing things out of that. It's that whole thing about like planting a seed, and the seed looks like it's a dead thing, but actually the seed is actually the thing that's coming to life. You know.
I'm hoping a lot is born out of these asters. I'm hopeful. There's a lot of ashes, but a lot of potential for new growth.
For rising up out of them.
Heck yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah. This year fast forwarded and made me deal with a lot of stuff I didn't want to deal with, and made me deal with it. I don't know how long it would have taken had this year not happened, if I would ever have dealt with it. And
I don't know if this is going to sound weird, but one of the good things that maybe also came out of 2020 is I think everybody understands each other more because we all essentially kind of experienced a lot of the same, you know, a lot of us have been in the same boat. It's like, you know, you'll tell your story and like, oh yeah, I get it. Trust me, I understand. You know what I mean? And it's just like, there's been some weird satisfaction in that. Like, it's like, okay, you get it. Like, just to know you're not alone in a way, you know, in that sense.
And then interestingly, in the sense of like where everything else is so polarized, it's like, you know, but this is something where it's like, I mean, again, depending on different levels. I mean, some people have had horrible things happen.
Sure.
Some people have had great years.
Sure.
And again, I mean, personally me, it has not been a bad year, you know, but when you see you know, not just health-wise, but so many things that are being affected in the world because of this year.
Yeah.
It's like, it always makes me think of that Martin Luther King quote that says, you know, like, no one is free while others are oppressed. It's that same feeling of like, well, when I know that many people, you see everything shutting down, people out of it's, I mean, it's like, yeah, sure, I can be happy for the things that were great in my life, but that, what about everybody else, you know? And so it just is like this very, I just feel like it just reminds us that we're all human. We're all like, ultimately we should be in it together. Ultimately we, you know, but unfortunately, because we all have our different views on things, it can often drive people apart. So.
And I do hope that's an outcome of 2020. And I think we've seen it even just in a common grace kind of way, that people seem to be, at least in day-to-day activities, they seem to be more understanding and patient and kind and graceful, giving people a little bit more of a leash of our expectations of them, which I think is just good. Like, even some of the advertising I hear, like 2020 has been a tough year, but if you do QuickBooks, you know, like at least even if you just acknowledge that 2020 has been a tough year, I feel like cared for. Obviously they're trying to make me buy QuickBooks, which I can't do math, so that's never going to happen. But I still like it. They're a little bit kinder than like, you know, have you enough work this year? No, you know, I know it's been tough. QuickBooks still loves you. Well, I hate you, QuickBooks. But.
Oh, we just finally heard his laugh again.
I know. Oh. I noticed it a couple other times beforehand. I was like, there it is. I need to make that a ringtone.
A ringtone with
Oh,
Spencer.
my word.
That
would
the
be
alarm
a crazy
on
ringtone.
Thank you so much for coming on. And again, you know, we're sorry that it didn't work to be with the group, but maybe next time, you know, or we'll do something else where, because mainly we just wanted everybody to meet each other too. So when you get a chance, if you watch the video, then you'll kind of get to know everybody's, you know, what everybody's been dealing with this year as well. Might help a little bit. But yeah.
I watch all your videos. I'll definitely watch it.
Thank you. That means a lot to us, truly.
And please share, as soon as you know, like the platform and everything, to share the link for your features and like the 50, essentially you're going to be doing like 52, like, please, I really, and like, is the teaser ready already or no?
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay. Will it be, is it on your YouTube channel, your Spencer Folmar?
It will be. Yeah, it'll be probably later tonight.
Oh, okay. We will look it up. Be encouraged, you know, like, look, you're like, despite everything, you're just like, okay, right on it. Like, let's just keep creating.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. So good to see you both. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to your family. And we're so thankful. You're one of the things we're thankful for from 2020. Because we met you.
I'm thankful for you.
Yeah. It's
so
been like a super bright spot.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Spencer, again, for your time and your existence and your excellence. We so appreciate
your tenacity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So appreciate you, ladies. Thank you for the encouragement and for the podcast. I do love this podcast. I enjoy watching your shows. So
thank you.
My new favorite podcast. Yeah.
Thank you. That means so much to us.
Truly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I look forward to catching the latest episode.
Awesome. Thank you. And then you'll look forward to watching this episode and get to see your great answers to everything. Seriously, we really believe in you, and we just want to encourage you, you know, just that wherever you are, your dreams and your vision and who you are goes with you. Who you are, your soul is with you, and that's all you need to continue on and keep creating great films and keep creating great art and keep being you in your context, you know.
Thank you so much. Such nice words to hear. It really is. It's a drink of water in the desert, so thank you.
Yeah, genuinely mean it.
Yep, for sure.
So, all right, well, lots of love and New Year's blessings, and we look forward to the next time we do this with you.
Exactly.
And we know you'll have really cool stuff to tell us
Exactly.
Well,
Bye,
take
ladies.
care. Okay,
Take care,
lots of love.
Spencer.
Happy New Year.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.